And we are back with another Savage stream already. I think I've been live almost every day this week already. Now I know it's just Monday, but I mean, I was kind of live last night, and then Saturday, didn't we do something Saturday? I feel like I did something Saturday. No, actually it was twice yesterday, that's right. So twice on Sunday because I did the Beam fork and then the Veta frame build off thing. So yeah, super busy. Seems like I'm always sitting in front of this computer talking to you guys, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm down. At block 777777, Beam hard forked to a new consensus mechanism called Beamhash 3. We talked about this on Sunday. And it's a variation of Equihash 155 proof of work algorithm, which is basically just an upgrade to Beamhash 2. Beamhash 3 is more memory intensive, so you know, it saturates this GPU's memory bandwidth, and hopefully that'll make it really difficult to mine with FPGAs or any other like secret device that was on the network, and maybe the centralized ASICs. And remember that Beam uses Mimblewimble for the transactions and Equihash for the proof of work. And we, in this discussion here, in the mining side of things, we're really only concerned about proof of work mining algorithm. But you can see here that the difficulty dropped from 115 million down to 37 million. And I mean, I'm talking about local highs, right? So something that happened kind of recently. So it went from 115 to, it actually went down to 27, but right now it's kind of leveled out, you know, a little bit of leveling out here, but it's sitting at around 37 right now, I believe. So that's about a 70% drop, which is a huge drop in difficulty. You know, that means that your GPUs are now going to be more profitable. So it might be a good time to throw a little bit of hash power at it. I know initially it was pretty profitable. It shot up to the top of what to mine pretty easily. Now for a 1660 Ti, it looks like they fixed this today. There were some improper or inaccurate calculations in here. I believe that they had it basically doubled because after going to Beamhash 3, it essentially, on my rig anyway, it basically cut the souls per second in half. It was right at 50% in half. And it doesn't matter because everybody's is, right? So it's not, don't think that like, hey, I'm not going to be profitable anymore. But what I mean is the whole network, you know, experienced this. So if you go down, look down here on 1660 Ti, it was at the top, I believe, for a while. Now it's kind of fallen back down, you know, a little bit, but there are some other things going on, you know, higher up. But I mean, you're talking 39 cents for Ravencoin after my power cost of 10.3, and you got, where was it? And 27 cents here. So it's not a huge difference, but over time that does add up quite a bit. But you know, again, it might be something to look at. I know before the change here to correct the calculation, it was giving you weird information, because if you didn't pay attention to what it was showing you here and you just did a calculation, like I'll give you an example. Before this morning, whenever I first did this was sitting at like 203 or something like that on this particular rig configured this way, and the profitability was like $7 or $8 a day. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. You know, let me hurry up and get on Beam. But then I realized, well, wait a minute, this is not right. So yeah, anyway. All right, so let's take a look at what we are going to do tonight. I'm going to go ahead and do a whole Hive install as well. We'll walk through that again. You can see here I've already got, you know, I'm already signed up to the website. I already have an account, so all that verification stuff has been done. I already have a rig up and running on Hive, and this video kind of assumes that you do too. But if you needed to grab the image, you would just go to the main HiveOS.farm website here, and then go to install, and then under GPU, in our case, because we're using GPUs, we would click on zip or torrent, just depends on how you want to do it. And you can see I already downloaded it. and it's the same version, so we don't have to do that again. I think it's 500 meg. No, 1.8 gig. Okay, I thought it was small. I thought they had, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking, oh, you know what, Simple Mining has about a 550 meg download. Anyway, so I've already downloaded it. Let's go ahead and fire up Balena Etcher. That's the other software that you have to have, and it's just the software for burning the image. And I believe that all this is actually on their site here. Yep. So they talk about Rufus here. In place of Rufus, you could use, or here's Etcher right here. So let me see what this actually goes to, because yeah, see, it goes to Balena Etcher. So that's good. All right, so they have a good link in there. That's excellent. Okay, so you fire up Balena Etcher once you get it installed and everything, and select image. Then you'll go to where you downloaded it, and we'll go there, and then we'll select the image that we downloaded. And then I've got these, actually this is a brand new 32 gig, really small form factor here, Samsung USB drive. I wanted to try these out, so hopefully it works. But these are USB 3.1, so it should be pretty fast. So that's what I'm going to be using. So we have to choose the target. So I'm just going to plug up the USB to the computer. USB port. First time I've ever plugged that USB drive in, so we'll see what happens here. Came up pretty fast. Okay, great. This doesn't like it. Let's see here. Okay, so what we'll do, because this is kind of freaking out, I'm going to close it. We'll fire up Balena Etcher again. It maybe didn't like it because I inserted it after, you know, starting Balena Etcher. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. So it found it right away. That's the drive. And then I always show everybody this. If you click on the little gear icon, because you don't want the drive to eject after, you know, you want it to remain visible in Windows after you burn successfully, so that you can copy your files to it, right? Otherwise, you got to remove the drive and reinsert the drive. So I always uncheck that, or I slide the slider over, because by default it looks like this. So I turn that off, eject on success, I turn that off, and I turn off validate write on success. All right, and then we're gonna flash that drive. You'll come up with this. Choose yes. Hopefully it doesn't crash my machine. It has done that in the past. It looks like it's going. That's good. Happy with that. And let's see. While that's going, I will just check out the chat and totally get distracted over here. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Sarth? What is up, Crypto Mining Lifer? What's up, Batman? Raider? Thanks, Raider. I appreciate that, man. What's up, Serpent? Unknown Crypto, Guild War, what is going on? Thanks for tuning in, guys. And gals, if there's gals out there. If you're looking for some overclock settings, Serpent there, he's got a Reddit page. I think I'm going to be able to go right to it. Yeah, here we go. CMV Jax. And he posts overclock settings and basically the results that he gets. After tonight, he might be able to add some to this, because we'll be using a 1080 and a 1070 Ti, which are not on here. So we might be able to play around with that. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if we get that far. I've been kind of talking a little bit, so I don't know if we're going to get all that way, you know, to the overclocks and stuff. I don't know if Brandon Coin's going live tonight. If he's not, then maybe I can run a few minutes over 10 p.m. and actually do overclocking and all that stuff. So, but yeah, check that out as well. I'll throw this in the, I'll throw this in the description and into chat over here. There we go. Yeah, good info on here. Kind of thought that that would go a little bit faster, but it's not too bad. If it was simple mining, it would already be done because their image is only like 500 and something megs, so. And then while you're burning the image, what you could do, if you already have your HiveOS up and running, you can add the rig, right? So let's say it was blank, or you end up over here like this, and you got your default farm here. Mine's already named, but yours will just say default if it's the first time that you've fired this up. And then you can click on it and click. You won't have any rigs here. You would just click up here on the plus and go add worker, and then go through the steps of adding the worker. You can, description and all that stuff, however you want to do it. And then once your worker's in here, if you click on the worker, then I'm not gonna click on it, but right here there's a settings settings option here. And if you click on that, inside of there, right about in this area over here, you're gonna see a rig.conf file. And you're gonna wanna download that to your computer. And that is what you're gonna copy to the USB drive to make the USB drive talk to your dashboard in HiveOS. Okay, so it's basically how your rig will know to connect to HiveOS dashboard, so you can see the rig and see and manage the rig properly. Okay, so you just click on settings here. There's a rig.conf file over here around in this area. You'll download that and it'll look like this. This is what the file name looks like. Normally it'll be a notepad. It just depends on your settings, but if you're in Windows, it'll probably default to notepad. A little icon here. And then you're just going to, once this is done burning, once the image is done burning, you're going to copy that to the root, the top level of your USB drive. And then you'll eject the drive and insert it into the rig, and that's it. All right, so the flash is complete. So we're going to get out of here. And then what we should see over here is this is going to, if I clicked on it right now, it's going to error out, right? Because I haven't done a refresh. And you can see that it still says Samsung here. But if I did a F5, maybe. F5, maybe not. So it looks like let's see here. F5 over here, nope, not working. Okay, so if I click on it, it's probably going to error out. All right, it says it doesn't exist, and then you start getting all this crazy stuff. So you're always going to want to choose cancel on these because it doesn't recognize the file system. If you have, there's some utilities you can install to actually read the drive, but I don't have them on this computer. But you're going to cancel all these, get rid of all that stuff. Okay. And then you can see here that it did actually open the drive right here. So you'll see it looks like 3 drives here. One will say Hive. That's the one that you want to copy and paste your rig.conf file to. All right, so I'm gonna go back to downloads. I'm gonna right click, copy, go back to Hive, right click, paste. And now, because that file's there, whenever I boot off of this drive, or this USB drive, it's going to know, it's going to read this file right here and know how to contact the dashboard and what to present up here. All that stuff is in there. All right, so I'm going to, Serpent, I just have 1080s, not a 1080 Ti. I'm going to right click on this, choose eject. And then we'll go back to the rig here. I'm going to shut down. And this sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I don't know why. It might just be my system here, but nope. Okay, so it actually did shut down. So I'm going to remove the USB drive from my computer, my main computer. And then we'll insert it into, I've got a little extension cable here, which is super convenient because, actually you can't really see that. Yeah, a little extension cable here. Super convenient because, you know, where the rig is, it's hard for me to get back there. So there you go. So there's the USB added. All right, so we're booting that rig up off of that USB. And actually, I'm kind of goofing up because the rig's already in here. So I probably should have deleted this rig. Let me power this off. We'll do it like this. We'll do it for real here. Actually, no, I can't do that because I should have done this a little bit different. That's okay. It'll work out like this. It'll basically just come up and be, we're going to be talking about mining Beam anyway. So, but yeah, so I grabbed this rig.conf file, so it's all already set up. And it's basically just going to fire back up and start mining exactly like it was before, which is okay. It'll be mining Zel. So if we want to mine Beam, then you need to have a Beam receiving address. So normally you would download their wallet. I think they definitely have a mobile wallet. They have tablet wallets. They have everything. And mobile would be tablet too, I guess. And I have the desktop wallet here. Now, something I learned, I had learned it long ago and I just forgot it, but Beam by default creates expiring addresses, okay? So if you go to your addresses, the little address book icon right here, and if you were to click, if you were to go up here to your wallet and click receive, then it has now created a temporary address for you. And you can see right here, it expires in 24 hours by default, right? So let's close that. So what you have to do is you have to create an address. You see how it created that address right there? Now, if you're mining to that address, it'll work for exactly 24 hours, and then it won't work anymore. So that's kind of what happened to me, is I had generated an address and used that address to mine to, and then of course after a while it stopped working. Okay, so, but whenever you actually create the address, whenever you click on receive over here, you could give it a comment like, we'll call this one donations, pretty common, and then click the down arrow here and you can choose never, right? So that address will not expire, okay? So now what I thought was weird though is that I did have some addresses in here before, prior to upgrading to version 5.0. Okay, so this is the latest wallet, and I don't know if that's what got rid of that address or what. I don't know exactly what happened with that. I didn't lose any of the Beam that were in the wallet, okay, but the address that I used to mine to was no longer in here. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not understanding how that works, but I do know that this will remain here probably until maybe another wallet upgrade. I don't know. And if you wanted to get rid of these old addresses that are, not used, you just click the little three dots, ellipses, whatever you want to call them, and then choose delete over there so you can clean it up. If you get OCD like SerpentX, I know that he would be wanting to delete these. It doesn't bother me that bad at this point, so I'm going to leave those in there. But anyway, so once you create an address that is permanent, right? Like you can see here, mining. You can, I guess you have to edit. Let's see, how can I copy this? There we go. So right click on it and choose copy. I wonder if you can do it out here. Yeah, you can. Okay, so you can right click on it here and choose copy. That'll get you access to the, it'll copy it to your clipboard. And then that's where you'll come over to HiveOS, because you need to create a wallet. So we're going to click on wallets and then click on add a wallet. or add wallet. The coin is going to be Beam. Address, right click, paste. We know we got a pretty good copy of it, so we're not going to worry about, I don't think there's going to be spaces or anything crazy in there. That's good. We'll call it Beam YouTube and then create. So there's our wallet, and you'll see it pop up down here eventually. It might be at the bottom. Yeah, it's at the bottom. So here's the wallet that we just created. So now we need a flight sheet for the rig, because the flight sheet contains all the configuration for how to mine the coin, right? So another thing that you would want to do, but another thing you would need to do is find out which pool you want to use. Now, HiveOS is going to have plenty of pools included, especially with a large cap coin like Beam. Okay, so you don't really have to go out and check, but it is a good idea to go and check what pools Beam is using. So you go to miningpoolstats.stream, come over here and search for coins. You go to Beam. And then you can see that Leaf Pool is the most popular. It has 65%. So in this case, I would probably choose a different one because you know it's kind of like centralizing the hash rate here. So I would probably choose maybe 2 miners. Spark Pool is, I think Spark Pool is China. I think it's got a global. Yeah, it's got a global. So it's global now, but it doesn't have the little specifically China flag there. So any one of these 3 would probably be pretty good. I like Leaf Pool's interface. It seems pretty clean. 2 miners is always really good as well. So we'll go with 2 miners this time just to spread the hash rate a little bit. So we click on 2 miners and we go over here to how to start. And this is where we get some more information about the miners, the URLs for the pool. But remember, it's probably going to be in HiveOS already. So we don't really need to worry about that too much, okay? But we are going to do some validation here. So we go to wallet, choose the wallet that we just created, select the pool, and look at there, 2 miners is in there, along with some of the other top ones, right? You could have your own miner or your own pool in there, if not your own, but you know, one from over here. You choose your own pool as long as it's got some hash rate. You know, that means that it's actually up and running. So you're looking over here. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to get on CoinMine or 666 pool or anything like that, because you know you see these problems over here. So you're probably going to be in bad shape if you try to mine to those pools. So I would probably stick with anything, you know, maybe from F2 pool up. I don't know, somewhere around in there. I'd feel pretty comfortable mining on any one of those. All right, so then we're going to choose 2 miners. And what that does is it's going to give us a lot of really cool options. And we're in the US. I'm not going to choose high difficulty. I'm just going to choose default here, 5252. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to remember this. Memorize that. Whoops, I think I just turned it off. Memorize that, 5252, US Beam, 2 miners, 5252. Okay, because we want to go back over here and check to make sure that that is the URL that they are saying it should be. So I'm looking right here, and it is active, everything's up, so we should be good to go to mine to this URL and that port number. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And this is really important, especially whenever a project has just forked, right? Because whenever a project forks, you know, there's going to be some catching up to do by the pools and by the miners and the software and all that stuff. They all have to do a little bit of catching up once the fork happens. So it's good to come in here and verify this stuff. Plus, it's good to just know what you're trying to do here, right? What you're actually looking at. So I feel pretty confident that we're good to go here. So we've got that pool selected. And then what miner do we want to use? Well, for mining Beam, it looks like the current miners, Red Panda did a really good video on this. I think it was today, actually, earlier today. Covering the different miners, and I think he might actually cover them more in depth, like each individual miner. But for AMD, it looks like LOL miner 1.01 or better. For Mini Z, and that's NVIDIA only, it's 1.6 version 2 or better. I think they're up to like version 3, I think. B miner is 16.2.2 or better. B miner is AMD and NVIDIA, but I don't know if it's both of them for Beam. Okay, so a lot of these miners mine lots of different projects, and I don't know the details of Beaminer as far as whether or not it applies to both AMD and NVIDIA. And then you got Gminer for NVIDIA, I believe NVIDIA only, 2.11 or higher. So in our case, I think what we'll do is we will choose, oh, and you can see here, they don't have Mini-Z selected here. So if you did want to use Mini-Z, you would have to come down here to show all and actually go and select the miner. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, let's just choose Gminer just for now. Okay, so because I want the settings to go into the miner automatically, if you choose Mini-Z, there you have to actually plug in some data. Okay, so the way that we've done this is very automatic. Okay, because it's already going to, because the miner was already selected from the pool that we chose, then whenever you click on Setup Miner Config, there's a lot that's going to be selected for you already. Okay, you can see how all this stuff is plugged in there. So I think I'm going to just leave it like this, just to get up and running on a miner and actually mining Beam, so that we can do it in under 30 minutes, because we have about 3 minutes left. So I'm gonna go Beam YouTube, and we'll go create flight sheet. And here it is right here. You can see it's using Gminer. Oh, and I have one here that's already for Mini-Z, so maybe we'll come back in there and look at that. Okay, so then you go back to workers, choose a check mark next to the rig that you want to assign the flight sheet to. Go to the rocket, flight sheet, and then we're gonna, I don't really like this, but they've consolidated this, I guess, so now you have to click 2 more coins, or you have to click the little expand button there. Used to, it would just put them all up here, right? So I guess people will probably complain because it was too much information, but then you choose Beam, and then we're going to go down to Beam YouTube, 2 miners, and then we're going to click Apply. And that will kick off a restart. I think it'll restart actually. Actually, it's just saying config, so maybe it doesn't need to actually restart. Although, for the most part, it's kind of a good idea to restart, but we'll see if it just comes back up on its own. Check the chat while that's going on. What's up, Mining Pirate? Man, is there sports on or something tonight? Good grief, there's only 6 people watching. Where is everybody? Everybody hates Beam or something? Good grief. I was expecting a little bit more than that. But I'm glad you guys are here. Alright, so let's do a refresh. And you can see here that it is mining Beam. So it looks like that part is working. And then if we go over here to the rig, click on the rig, and you can kind of see the souls per second there. Serpent. So we can document that, and you can see the overclock settings that I have in here. And if you were wondering, what settings you should put in here, I know some of these, actually none of these I pulled from Serpent, but that's because I haven't, after I saw his post, I haven't actually come in here and mined Beam after his post. So I would probably try his settings in here for the 1070 and the 10, well actually just the 1070, right? I think that's all you had on your, I think that's the only one that's, yeah, you didn't, did you have a TI in there? I forget. Let's go look. Yeah, so the 1070 is the only one that we duplicate, that we have, that we both have, so. So the 1070, it looks like I'm getting 14.3, 14.4. And what did you say? You said, yeah, 13.9 to 15. So we go 150. Now is this Windows? Windows overclock, or I would assume that it is. So we'll go with like 900. So we go 150 and 900. So for the 1070, we can go 150. And then 900. See, I had 1100 in here. And that'll do a reconfig real quick. OC. What kind of frame is what, Crypto Mining Lifer? This one? That is a 6 GPU beta frame. Or actually, no, you're talking. Oh, you're talking about this one. That's right. Yeah, I saw this. I was like, man, that is crazy. I tell you what, though, this is not any type of Veta frame. This is like, the Veta frames are probably, what is it? Maybe half inch tubing. The T-slot tubing. This has to be like an inch. This looks humongous. Like compared to a Veta frame, you know. I mean, look at that. It's crazy. Yeah, I saw that whenever I was looking at it. I was like, man, that is so cool. Yeah, I mean, look at the motherboard and then compare it to the tubing. It is T-slot tubing, just like a Veta frame. I mean, that's all Veta frames are, but man, that's some hefty stuff. Yeah, it's a sick rigs, actually. Way more than one here. Alright, so let's check out what we got here. So I'm at 14. Okay, so almost 15 there, Serpent. Those are some pretty good settings. So let me see if I can kind of duplicate that across a TI. Let's go with, let's see here. I'm gonna go I want to go 150 on all of them. On the core, 150 on all of them, and then we'll go. Let's go 900 on all of them too. Power. Let's go 120 with all of them. I mean, that's a limit, so we'll see what that does. What's cool about Hive is it actually shows you your power limits right here. Whenever you go into the rig for NVIDIA GPUs anyway, I don't know if it does it for AMD, I don't think so. But the power limit, you know, this is like minimum, this is like mid-range or ideal, and then this is like your max TDP right here. Yeah, I'm just going to, I basically duplicated all of it. I wanted to see what we would get this way first. All right, so we got a little bit hot. That's okay. Probably pretty normal for that power range and stuff. So, okay. So we got over 15 here. Using a lot of power though. I mean, again, look, this is the one of the really cool things about crypto mining, especially on a hobby level, is like you could sit here and play around with this and figure out, like, fine tune your settings, right? And figure out what your best souls per watt values are, and because that's where it's at. That's where the most, because you want the most efficiency, right? Now, in the case of Beam right now, because it just forked, maybe it's not that critical because you just want to throw as much hash power at it as possible so that you can accumulate the most rewards. Got it. Totally understand that. But after a while, you're going to want to come in here and kind of get efficient, right? You're going to want to like kind of look at the numbers and figure out, you know, I've got that spreadsheet that I use from time to time, the Google Sheet that shows, you know, you get to plug in the values and it figures out, you know, what the souls per watt are and all that stuff. Makes it real easy. And, you know, based on your power draw and all that stuff. So you'll want to do that at some point. But right now it's really not that important. Okay, so we did cool off a lot. We are at 15 on the 1070s. It looks like the 1070 Ti's are 17, 18 on this one, and about the same on the 1080s. So what we can do is we will, Serpent, do you want to do that on all of them? You want to step from 1,000 to 1,200? I mean, there's another way of testing it too, because I've got duplicate GPUs, right? So I could go 150 on all of them. I could go 1,000 on the 1070s, or I could do 1,000 on one, right? And then I could go, let's see, 1,000 on the 1070 Ti. Then I got another 1070 here. I'll go 1,100 on. And then I've got a 1080. I'll go, the first one I'll go 1,000. 1070 Ti, I'll go 1,100 on that one since it's the second one. And then the second 1080, I'll go 1,100 on that one. So I should have three, whoops. I should have 3 1000s and 3 1100s. Sounds right. And kick this down. Actually, no, I'll leave it. I'll leave it right there. Okay. We'll see how that works. And then what they'll allow us to do is actually like compare the two, right? Because I got 2 of each GPU, so we'll be able to compare the souls per watt a little bit quicker than setting them all the same. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see if Brandon is live. Nope. And he doesn't have anything scheduled either. Okay, so on the first 1070, now it does take some time for things to level out, and if we went to the pool, you would see that really specifically, precisely, because the pool takes quite a while, especially with Equihash coins. It seems like it just takes quite a while for it to average out to where you really know what you're getting. So we got on the 1070, we got 14.8 and 14.6 with more clock, more memory clock. So it actually, more memory clock looks like it might actually drop it a little bit. So that 1,000 might be good, or that 900. That 900 seemed really good because it was getting above 15 with 900. So let's go ahead and we'll drop this one back down to, let's see, how can we do this? We'll have to go 900 here. All right, so we'll see what that does. And then on the TIs, you got 17.1 and 18. So the 1100 actually bumped it up a little bit. Not too much more power, so that's not too bad. And then on the 1080s, you got 17.1 and then 18 here with quite a bit difference in power. So I would say that, wow, and this one's actually lower. This is the lower of the two. Yeah, I agree, Serpent. It just takes a little while to figure out what's what. And if you want a good like starting point, you can always go to what to mine. What to mine is going to tell you at least a somewhat of a starting point. If you click on your GPU right here, you can see the overclock settings down there, right? So that'll help you out a little bit. And whenever it's talking about 75% of TDP, for example, 75%, and this is 70. So the way that you can work that out is you would go to right here and you would say, all right, 75% of this is ideal, or at least that's what to mine is using, or what to mine is recommending, right? So, it's not really that they're recommending it, it's just what they use for their calculations on their website. So you would multiply 170 by 75%. So you could bring up your Windows calculator. 170 times 75% equals 127 would be about the power for, again, what they use on their website. So we're actually below that. But you could put like 127 in here for the power, right? To give it what to mine thinks. Now, these GPUs, I find that my 1070s work best with like 105, 110, sometimes even lower. It just depends on what the algo is. They seem to get more efficient. You take a little bit of power away. Yeah, it's using Gminer right now. But apparently Mini-Z is a little bit better. So we can actually switch over to that if you want to. I say better, what I mean is it gets a little bit better hash rates apparently. I think you mentioned that in your post here. Or it definitely shows it. If you compare this with this, Mini-Z is crushing it. Alright, so I am pretty happy with that. Let's come over here and see where we're at. So yeah, pretty much no matter what I do, it's going to be around 100 for this rig. It seems like, I mean, it might be able to push it a little bit harder than that, but let's go ahead and fire up a different. We'll use a different miner. We'll use Mini-Z. So I'm going to cheat since I already had it over here. What we'll do is, let me edit this. I think I got this running. Maybe I didn't. You know what? I think I was playing around with this. I don't think I ever got this working actually. I don't think I did. And a little bit of that has to do with the fact that it doesn't have the automatic settings like 2Miners does for, well, like Gminer has in Hive, So, all right, so this is the one we're using. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch this over to a different miner. Since we know that this works, right, as far as the whole flight sheet works. So I'm just going to switch over to Mini-Z, but see, because it's not included in the pre-settings, for HiveOS, it's not going to be in here. The settings aren't going to be in here. So I think, normally you would choose like 155, but in this case it looks like they threw Beam 3 down here, so I suppose that's what you're supposed to use. And I think that this is probably where I'm messing up, because I think that for Mini-Z, this is going to look a lot different, because you're going to have the email address or the worker name in here. It's not going to be the same. Let's see if I did. Yeah, I'll have to look at that, but I don't think that this is going to work. Let's find out. I'm totally putting that in the wrong spot. Let's put it down here. Let's put it down here where it belongs. How about that? Let's do just wallet here, because I think that I want to say it's supposed to be. Actually, you know what? Here's what we can do. Let's go to the mini Z doc. Yeah, it's supposed to look like this. The URL should be username. Give me some examples here, guys. All right, so I wonder if it knows. Okay, so if I go like this, if I come in here and I say, okay, wallet dot, if I use the variables like this, I wonder if this will work. Actually, let me. Y'all are probably yelling at me, but let's try this. I don't know, is this gonna work? Let's find out. All right, update. So that is going to update the rig, because remember I edited the flight sheet that was actually already assigned to the rig. Yeah, this is kind of what I was getting earlier today. I was just kind of goofing around with this for a minute. So I would go into the rig, go to remote. I don't know how long it takes for Mini Z to actually fire up. I think it's got some like benchmarking and some stuff that goes on maybe, and maybe that's what I just need to wait on it. I don't know. It seemed like I waited quite a while and it still didn't work, or it never started mining. So if I go to the Hive shell here, go to miner. Yeah, this is exactly what it was doing earlier. It just sits right here. So I think that maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just it's got to process and figure out the GPUs and benchmarks and all that stuff. I don't know. Are you familiar with that, Serpent? Or anybody in the chat? Anybody? So should I just let this rock or what here? Because it looks like, I mean, there's not like errors up here, right? So it's not saying, hey, there's something really wrong here. And it did automatically choose the correct personalization string. That's good. It's got the right algo here. Yeah, I've tried restarts, I've tried everything, and this is as far as I would get, at least earlier today. Let me get out of here. Let me show you what I'm looking at here as far as if you go to miner actions and then miner config, you can see what HiveOS is actually giving to the miner as its config, right? So if you click on miner config, I don't know if you saw that or not, but click here and then miner config here, and then you just click on it, and it basically will tell you the string that it's passing to the miner. And this does look correct, structured the correct way. Okay, so oh, you know what, this is leaf pool. I didn't change that. Maybe it was leaf pool that was having a problem with. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it still should work. Let's switch it over to, yeah, let's switch it over to two miners. Go to flight sheets. This is the one that's assigned. Go to edit. So it is on, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, so something's not right. Because why was it pointed to, did I copy the wrong thing? Maybe I did. I sure enough did. Okay, so here, okay. All right. I got it. Let's try this. We're on 2 miners. Okay, so the only thing we changed was the miner. That's right, we didn't change the pool. Okay, so I got all mixed up there. All right, maybe, just maybe, that'll do it. I am going to throw it a restart here too. Is the background music at a good level or is it too high? Seems like it's at a good level over here. I do think that there's some of the songs, because I've got like a playlist, so I think that some of the songs are just recorded at a higher level, because every now and then people will complain about the level of music. So I think that, you know, I don't change it. I don't change the level. Once I set it, it's set. But I think that there's just some of them that are just recorded at a higher level. So let me know if I need to turn it down or up or whatever. Now it sounds like it is mining. The rig definitely has a... Sounds like it's firing up pretty good here. Let's see here. See what we got. Yeah, okay, so same thing. Let's just make sure it's in the right. Okay, so it does. Yeah, okay, so here's the server. That all looks right. I tell you what I want to do. I want to just leave it here for a little bit, because this, I was experiencing this before, and it seems like I remember Mini-Z taking a while, especially that first boot. It's almost like it needs to log some stuff to figure out, you know, how to, you know, the best settings for the GPUs. I guess, I don't know. I know it's got some automated things in there, so I think I'm just gonna let this sit here for a little while and see how long it takes. So it's 10:24 now. I'm just gonna let it rock and see if it ever comes up, and I'll let you guys know either on maybe in the description of the video, or maybe on Twitter or something. If y'all follow me over there, I will post and let you know what we came up with. Yeah, sounds good. I think I can do that. All right, so hopefully you guys found this somewhat useful, entertaining, and educational. I don't know, one of those three. And if you did, be sure to subscribe and like and share and all that stuff that good subscribers do, good viewers do. I would appreciate it. And I don't know what I will be doing. I don't think anybody else is. Well, I saw Seth Estrada is live, right? I don't know what kind. I was kind of looking at doing a lot of Beam this week, so maybe we'll just do different OSs, you know. But and maybe some overclock settings and stuff every night or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I don't have a plan. I do have one video planned that I think people are gonna like a lot, so I'll get on that. And but it's probably gonna be, it's not gonna be a live video. It's gonna be an actual recorded, you know, situation. So because I've got something that people ask about all the time, and I myself ask about it all the time. So I'm having to learn, and I'm gonna do something on my own that hopefully you guys can learn something from too. It should be interesting. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow night, same time and all that. I'm gonna let this rock. I'll let you know what happens tomorrow or in the description or whatever. See you guys tomorrow night. Stay savage, everybody.